Right then. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. Today we have teamed up with one of our longtime partners, Continia, and we're going to look at the options that they can provide, looking at document management within NAV or Business Central. So as you know, my name is Adam Barker, and I'm part of the 4PS account management team, and I'm joined here this morning by Martin Holterman, who is our main contact over at Continia. I'll hand you over to Martin in just a second. He's going to take you through today's demonstration. But just before that, I'll go through a little bit of housekeeping with you. So as usual, we are recording today's webinar. So if you do want to share it around or re-watch it, we're going to have that uploaded to our new website over the coming weeks. So keep your eyes open for that. We do ask as well that you forward any questions you have onto me directly once the webinar is over. So I'll put my contact details up on the screen once Martin's finished with the presentation demonstration. That way we can just save a bit of time and make sure that we don't overrun. Right, okay then, good. Martin, if you're ready, I'll make you the presenter and you can get going.
Sure, yeah, thank you.
Great stuff.
Okay, thank you for the introduction, Adam. Good morning, everybody. As Adam said, my name is Martin and I work at Continia. And Continia creates add-ons for Dynamics NAV and the new Business Central for Microsoft. Today I'm going to show you Document Capture, our solution for scanning, registering and archiving invoices. I'll not be showing you a PowerPoint today, but really how the system works. I'll first show you how the invoices come in, how do we process them, approve them, post them, and at the end, how do we find them back? So everything from beginning to end. Like Adam said, any questions later on, please forward them to Adam and I will answer them as shortly as possible. For now, sit back, relax and enjoy the demo. And I'm going to start. So Document Capture. Document Capture will be fully integrated into your Dynamics NAV. And as finance team, you can select a role center specially made for Document Capture. And there you can see a couple of things. In the top row, document processing, here you can see how many invoices came in. The invoices can come in two different ways. One, you will receive invoices via the post, via the Royal Mail. You scan them in on your network scanner and they'll be sent directly to NAV. The second method is email, invoices at yourcompanyname.co.uk. Document Capture monitors that email address and downloads the invoices straight into NAV for you. Of course, you can use both these methods. That is not a problem. Some side notes. We will only be able to process PDF files. Should you receive an Excel file or a Word file, you manually need to convert it to PDF before it gets picked up by the system. The system will let you know if it didn't pick something up from an email. If you have multiple companies in your NAV database, then Document Capture can automatically distribute these invoices for you. So you can have one email address maybe as your company, and then it sees on an invoice, for example, Office Birmingham, then it will move the invoice to company number 1. If it sees Office London, it will move it to company number 2. And this will save the accounts payable team some time getting their invoices into the right place. Of course, we can also monitor an email address per company if you like that. That's not a problem. The last thing about these top 3 tiles, if you receive invoices via the post, with competitive solutions, you usually have to put a barcode on the invoices or put a blank piece of paper between the invoices before you scan them. You do this so that when the scanner sees a blank page, it will create a new PDF file. With Document Capture, this is not necessary. You can just put the whole batch on the scanner and scan them in, and then Document Capture will split them into multiple invoices in NAV for you based on the vendor number and vendor name, and invoice number. So again, this will save the accounts payable team some time getting the invoices in. These were the top 3 tiles. If we go one row below this, we will see purchase approval. With Document Capture, we can approve invoices, and in the role center, an approver can see how many documents he or she has to approve. And the same goes for the bottom row for the approval of credit notes. I will get to the approval process later on in my demo. I first want to show you how do we process the invoices. The only thing that I'm not showing you today is just before Adam and I started this meeting, I emailed some invoices to my demo account, and they're in now. And that's the only part that I'm not showing. As you can see, I've got 8 documents here for import. I'm going to press the button Import Files. When I press the button Import Files, the OCR scanner will go over the PDF files, and this OCR scanner allows us to do something with the text that is on them. We can automate this button for you, so you do not have to press this anymore. But in my demo, I will press a lot of buttons manually. Otherwise, we'll have a very short demo, and it will be, I cannot talk that fast. So I'll do some of the handlings manually. I'll press import files, and the system starts scanning. And as you can see, this goes really fast. And now the documents have been imported. Once they've been imported, they go into the document journal. And the document journal is the place where the accounts payable team will process the invoices. From now on, you get to see the original invoice on the right-hand side. As you can see, you can scroll through it, zoom in and zoom out. And if it contains multiple pages, you can scroll through multiple pages. On the top left, you've got your to-do list. In the middle, there will be a template. And down below, there will be comments. So how does our software work? We're going to create a template per vendor. And on the template, you're going to tell the system how do you want this invoice to be processed. This can be something very simple like a cost invoice, where you post it to a certain general ledger account, maybe add a dimension or a cost center that you like. You set this up once, the next time it will go in automatically. Of course, we can do a lot more. We can also match your invoices to your purchase orders. We can capture multiple lines of an invoice. We can capture multiple VAT amounts, currencies, discounts, freight charges. Basically, any type of invoice that you have, we can process that. In my demo today, I will start off very simple today with an invoice from Lewis Home Furniture, which is a cost invoice, and then I'll get into the more complex ones. As you can see on the top left, Document Capture recognized the vendors. How did it do that? When I pressed the button Import Files, the system started scanning the PDF files here on the right-hand side. It found the VAT number. Then it found a match on the vendor card of Lewis Home Furniture. If there's no VAT number on the invoice, then it will look for company name, address, postal code, contact person, IBAN number, Chamber of Commerce number, basically anything to capture the vendor name. Let's say the first time you did not find it, that can happen because maybe it's a new vendor. Then it's good that we're fully integrated into your Dynamics NAV, and we can open just your vendor list and select the correct one. And as you can see, that one is over here. And if you have the permissions to do so, you can even make a new one. I'm going to press the button Recognize Fields now, and then the system will create a template for me. And then we'll see a couple of things happening. We'll see on the right-hand side a lot of orange and blue bars appearing. In the middle, there will be data, and down below, there will be comments. Let's start off here in the middle in the left column field. In this column field, you'll find the master template that you get with Document Capture. This master template contains the most common fields that can be found on an invoice, like invoice number, invoice date, order number, currency, amounts. However, the nice thing is that you can fully adjust this to your liking. And I really mean you as a company, you do not need 4PS, Continia, or a developer to do this. Because we're fully integrated into your Dynamics NAV, we have access to all your tables, and we can either extract data from there or put it in there. And within a minute, you've got a nice field created over here that can capture your data. In the second column value, you can see that Document Capture tries to fill in as much as it can for you the first time. However, the first time you need to check the system because sometimes it will make a mistake and you need to correct that so it will not do that again in the future. Let's say I select the invoice number. You can see it gets highlighted on the right-hand side of the screen. You'll see an orange box and a blue box. The orange box is like the header, the anchor that it's looking for, and the blue bar is the value that it captured. So it's for the accounts payable team really easy what Document Capture did. If it's whether it's on page number 1, 2, or 3, it doesn't matter. It will immediately jump to where it found it for you. Let's say Document Capture didn't find it. That can happen the first time. First of all, on the bottom left, you'll get a warning message. The invoice number is not correct. So now I need to teach the system where to find our invoice number. Well, this is really easy. With my right-hand mouse button, I'll drag the orange box around the word invoice number. With my left-hand mouse button, I'll select the value. I do not need to press any save buttons. The template is now updated, and the system will not make the same mistake again in the future. Let's go to the next field. You've captured the invoice date. It found the due date, and it validates the due date with your payment terms. If you do not correspond, you'll get a warning message like the one down here below. The vendor wants to be paid within 8 days, and you've got 30 days of payment terms. However, your payment terms are leading because it's your NAV. Of course, the accounts payable team can manually override this. We got our contact person, no order number in my first example. The currency code is left blank because it's a local currency within NAV. Should you receive invoice with a foreign currency on it, that will be shown here, maybe in euros or US dollars. And of course, the system also validates this with what is set up on the vendor. So maybe they normally invoice you in pounds, and now they invoice you in euros, you will get a warning message saying normally they invoice you in pounds instead of euros. It captured all the amounts and it validates all the amounts. So it checks, is this 20% VAT of the amount excluding VAT? Are these two combined the same as amount including VAT? Like I said in the beginning, multiple VAT amounts on an invoice is not a problem. Freight charges, discounts, whatever they can imagine, we can capture it. Also, if the vendor has no VAT set up in the vendor posting groups, document capture will not ask about it. Maybe when you have like an insurance company, they usually do not charge VAT, then document capture will not ask about it. General ledger account, because it's a cost invoice, the system is asking for a general ledger account here in the comments. I can just open your general ledger account list like you're used to, scroll through it, or I can immediately go to the correct one. Yeah, 830, and then I'll say okay. And the system will ask me, do you want to set it up as a default for this vendor? With some vendors you can do it, you can set up a default general ledger account, and sometimes it changes every time. And then you just press no, and then you fill it in every time the invoice comes in. For now, I'll press yes, and then this red warning also disappeared. The posting description, I can type something in manually, combine fields from the template or the PDF files. I usually see that customers like to maybe have the vendor name first and then the / and the period, or literally the description of what it was. That is not a problem. You're fully flexible on this. In my demo, I'll make it easy on myself. I'll just say inspection and reporting fee regarding Deerfield. As you can see, I do not have to type anything. The last field, invoice/credit memo, document capture will be able to automatically recognize if this document is an invoice or a credit memo. Double invoices will get blocked here by the system, so they will not go in. And now we finish our first template. As you can see, this was really easy. I can do this within 30 seconds to 1 minute. After a couple of days of training from Adam and the team, you will also be able to do this. It is really simple. I'm going to register this document now, and then it will go into NAV, and then it will go into your purchase invoices screen, like you're used to. However, we modified the page, of course, so that you can see the invoice on the right-hand side, you can see all the details are filled in, and you can see the lines over here. The nice thing is with document capture, 4PS fully integrated it into their add-on. So yeah, all the fields that you're used to, document capture works with that as well. I'm going to send it for approval now. I will later tell you how the approval works and how we can set it up. Important thing to know, we can automate this button so that you do not have to press this anymore. If I go back now to my open invoices, I see no one from Lewis Home Furniture. However, if I press recognize fields now, everything is filled in. So we see the correct invoice number, all the amounts that it captured. We told the system general ledger account A330. It got the posting description. So as you can see now, with every template that you make, your finance team's workload will get less and less. Let's say the vendor sends in a duplicate invoice, then document capture will immediately block it, and it will even show you where it found it in your system, in this case on unposted invoice 1001. So you immediately know what went wrong. Of course, if it's maybe a small vendor that uses a, how do you call this, like the same number series again, then of course your finance team, you can always manually adjust data. You can maybe type in /2000 mean behind it. That's whatever you prefer. I'll just refresh my template again, make sure everything is okay, press register, and send it for approval. So this was a very simple cost invoice, but we can do more. Like I said at the beginning, we can also match purchase invoices to purchase orders, and we can do it in 3 different ways. One, we can approve based on the total amount level. The system will see an order with £1,000 worth of goods. The invoice is £1,000, so it's a match and it will go through. The only downside of this way of matching is you do not know if you ordered a black laptop or a white laptop, as an example. So that's why we've invented method number 2, and that is matching on a line level, and we're the only ones doing this at the moment. So in our example here on the screen, did you receive 250 mountings for £12.50, 15 planners for £70, and 50 doors for £53.5. And this will make your match very accurate, but it will also enable you to have partial deliveries. That's not a problem anymore. We can set up tolerances per supplier. We can skip the approval if there's 100% match, because then you basically got your 3-way match. And you can all do this per vendor. You can determine how far you want to automate this process. The third way of matching is manually. Why do you want to do this? Well, as you may have known, the vendors forget to put up the order number sometimes, and document capture is not going to guess for you, so you will manually select the correct order, and then it will start the automatic matching process. What we also sometimes see, I do not know if this is really happening in your business, we see it a lot in the clothing branch. If they receive invoices from Asia or the Middle East, then sometimes the quality is super poor. It's wrinkled, scanned upside down, and even for us difficult to read. Then the OCR also has some problems reading it. But Western European and US invoices shouldn't be a problem. Let me show you. I'm going to press recognize fields. I know all this data is correct. It found the order number. Normally it would have matched automatically now, but I've switched it off because I want to show it to you. I will go to the bottom match lines, and then a new screen will open. On the right hand side, the original invoice. Here are our received good lines, and down below the not received lines as yet. As you can see, order 1003, got that from the invoice. Then it will show me the received lines for order 1003. If I now press perform automatic match, it will match in my demo, of course, 100%. However, in real life, this not always happens. Then the difference will be shown here in this column over here. The line will not be made bold, so that you immediately see where the difference is. We know that freight charges, you probably do not know the exact amount up front, so we will not, we'll put an extra line in with the freight amount, as you can see here, delivery expenses, so that, it's £100 or £110, your matching will not stop on that one. Tolerances per supplier, we can do partial deliveries. So let's say you receive 125 mountings instead of the 250, then 125 mountings will still be open until the next invoice comes in. Then you receive it and the order will be shut down. This matching process is one of our, I think, most unique selling points. Within a second, the system knows if it's matched, yes or no. And what I will also do after this demo, I've got a webinar specially recorded for the matching part. I'll send it to Adam and he can share this with you. As you can see now at the bottom, it is fully matched. Document capture gives clear messages on what it did. In this case, it's fully matched, but it can also say it's a partial delivery. I could not match it. I found the order, but the tolerance level is exceeded. So it will give you clear messages for the accounts payable team. Here in the top ribbon, we can also add more columns where you can see the match status and the number of purchase orders, everything to make it as easy for the accounts payable team as we can do. I will register this one now. And for a lot of you, this will be a familiar screen. You got your lines over here with the receipt number. And it also says you pressing line functions, get receipt lines. That's in the past from now on. In my demo, I will send this for approval. Otherwise, my approval demo will be quite short. So, the next invoice, Electronics Limited. So, document capture is very good at capturing lines. It doesn't matter if there are 3 lines like in this example, 50 or 100. It will just continue on until it doesn't find it anymore. Let me show you how. I'm going to press recognize fields. And I know the system made some mistakes on this invoice. First of all, the invoice number. If I select it, you can see it highlighted the wrong data. So I'm going to correct the system, left-hand mouse button, right-hand mouse button. And now the system will not make the same mistake again. If we go a bit down, we can see that that amount is also wrong. But let's say you did not see this, then the system will give the message on the bottom, amounts do not match, because 1400 plus 1400 does not equal 1800. So if I now correct it, left-hand mouse button, right-hand mouse button, this message disappears, and now the system knows how to capture the correct VAT amount. This was everything on a header level, pretty easy. Now I want to show you how to capture all these lines. I go into the document card. I need to adjust my screen here a little bit. We got a tab called lines over here with a lot of columns like item number, description, quantity, unit cost, discount percentage, discount amount, and line amount. Again, you can fully adjust this to your company's liking. So I'll go into this line, select item number, and then with my left-hand mouse button say, you find that one over here. The description over here. Quantity, unit cost, no discount percentage, no discount amount, but we do have a line amount over here. And now this is really nice, no more typing. It captures every line that it can find. And again, I will show you in a second, if there are 10 lines or 20 lines, it doesn't matter, it will capture them. In this example, we assume that there's no purchase order against this one. So then we can say the iPad needs to go to general ledger account A and the mouse to general ledger account B. We can also translate it to an item number. We do not have item number iPad in our system, and our system is called item number 1000. We can transfer to a resource, a fixed asset, a charge. We can add dimensions per line, as many as you want. And the system will also be able to remember this for you. And yeah, so the next time you order an iPad, it knows that it's item number 1000 in our system, for example. And you can code it any way that you like. So I can say this one goes to an item number, this one to a general ledger account, and this one to an item number again. And then if I press register, you'll get nice 3 lines over here. I'll send it for approval, and it will be done. So I've got one from electronics. Again, that's a bit smaller with my iPad and my mouse. If I press recognize fields, everything is captured. You can look here in the document card, captured all the lines, correctly. I can register it. And I got 2 lines over here now. And also got one that's a bit bigger from electronics. As you can see, a lot of different lines. Recognize fields, document capture, captures all the lines. And you just need to put in a translation because the system, we haven't bought a Apple DVD anymore. Yeah, probably because they do not make them. But then you just fill in the translation saying this one goes to general ledger account 8310, and then the system knows what to do. So capturing lines with document capture is really easy, and the system is really good at it. This is what I wanted to show you today about template making. Template making is the most important part of document capture, especially in the beginning. It is not difficult. However, you will, how do you say this? You can do this in your test environment. And then the nice thing is you can copy everything from test to live, so you don't have to do it twice. If you've got multiple companies in your NAV database and you set up a vendor in one company, let's say the British Gas, if you then get an invoice from British Gas in the second company, the system will ask you if you want to copy the template from company number 1. Yeah, all these nice features are built in to make it as easy for you as possible. Now I want to move on to the approval process. First of all, we can approve in 2 different places, one within NAV and 2 within our optional web portal. The difference with the web portal is not the functionality, those are both the same with the ones in NAV. Only the web portal is very mobile. You can open this on your mobile phone, on your iPad, basically anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection. We can approve in multiple ways. We got 2 standard ones. We can approve based on purchaser and amount. An example, let's say an invoice comes in from a certain vendor, it will go to Adam. Adam can approve up to £500. If it's below that amount, he will be the only approver. If it exceeds his amount, it will first go to him and then to the person who's set up as a supervisor. The supervisor can approve up to, I don't know, £5,000. If it exceeds that amount, then it will go to the CFO, for example. So you can build in these layers. You can also set up fixed approvers per supplier. Supplier number 1 will be done by Adam and me, and supplier number 2 only by Adam. And what I also know, 4PS created approval, especially for the construction business. Adam may correct me on this one after the demo, but I believe it's on project manager and on projects, because that's how you work a lot in the construction business. And 4PS created a special approval flow for this. But Adam can give more information after the presentation or on email. Users will get a notification in their role center and or email. If they get an email, they can click on a link and either NAV will open or the web portal will open. In my demo, I will start with the web portal. It takes 1 second to load. There you go, it's coming now. While this is loading, we got a lot of nice features built in. We can set up automatic reminders within your organization saying, in our company, within 3 days, the approvers need to have approved the invoice. If not, they'll get an automatic reminder. 2 days after that, another reminder with a CC to their supervisor. And 3 days after that, a final reminder and maybe CC to the most strict person within your organization with a stick so that they can chase them to approve quickly. Now the approval form has been loaded. You can see the overview of the invoice. To do that, users can approve, can look up in the archive, what did I approve last week? If they need to approve in multiple companies, then they can see all the companies where they need to approve and then see how many invoices they have over there that they need to approve them. If somebody is sick or on holiday and out of office, can be set up, and then the invoices will be forwarded to that. And of course, the accounts payable team can activate this for your colleagues because, well, if you're on holiday, you're probably not going to log in again, but also if you're probably also not going to. The accounts payable team activate this for their colleagues. Yeah, shouldn't be a problem. Now let me go back to the invoices. I'll open one now. From now on the right-hand side, you get to see the original invoice. You can also zoom in on it, of course, and if it has multiple pages, scroll through them. You can add columns if you want to. I'll add one for now. I've had my caps lock on, so now it's but you get on the top left, you can see some details from the invoice, the flow that it will take through my organization, and the lines over here. Now this is important. You can determine per person what they can and cannot change on the lines. For example, in my example, cannot make changes to the item numbers. The system has permission to do so. There's a bit of a lag from my side because of the internet. You don't have permissions. So you can say people cannot make changes to item types, but they can make changes to the general ledger accounts, as you can see in this case. However, they have narrowed it down so that Richard Lum, in my example, can only make changes to the general ledger accounts in the 8,000 page. So we cannot see everything. And you can do this per person and on a very easy way without difficult permission sets. And you can do this based on item numbers, dimension, projects, jobs, general ledger accounts, fixed assets, resources, charges, so on, a lot of things. On the top left, we can approve an invoice. We can reject an invoice, but then we have to fill in the comment, why are we rejecting it? We can forward it in multiple ways. We can say approve and forward without approval. And the bottom one, if you want to have some extra information, forward and return to me for approval. So if you get an invoice from a new laptop, then you can say forward it to the IT manager saying, did you order a new laptop? He or she can then add a comment, yes we did because of the new colleague, and then it comes back to you and you can approve it. You can also put an invoice on hold if there's maybe a query. You can put it on hold, and then this message will also be relayed to the accounts payable team. The accounts payable team will get a full overview within NAV of where all the invoices are. And if they're put on hold, they also get a comment why it's been put on hold. So if the vendor calls, they can immediately answer. I'll press approve now, and it will go to the next one. And then on the top right, you can see message, the invoice was approved and sent to Annette Hill. I'll approve this one as well. Why not? If I want to cancel it, then the system will say, you can either put in a reason code, so we can create reason codes for you, or you can do it yourself, or you can add a comment, no money left, and then the invoice was rejected. I'll approve this one as well, and then my approval list is empty. In NAV, you have 100% the same functionality. The only thing is it looks like NAV. You get to see the invoice on the right-hand side, your to-do list here on the top, your lines over here in the middle, the comments down below, on the top left approve, reject, forward in multiple ways, put it on hold. If you have the permissions to do so, you can make changes to the lines, add comments, and set up your out of office. Important to know, the whole approval flow gets logged from beginning to end, so that the accountants can have a look at it later, but also yourselves, of course. I'll approve these ones now, and they will be gone. And then the invoices will come in their final stage to released and released invoices can be posted. We can post them one by one in a batch, or automate this for you, saying, maybe as an example, every day at 5 o'clock, all the invoices will be posted with status release. After the posting process, your normal 4PS process will kick in again. I'm assuming it will go to the banking module and eventually will get paid when the due date is there, but that depends on what you do. I will post them now, and this is just a standard NAV process, and all the documents are posted. So now we've done the complete process from beginning to end. A quick recap. The invoices will come in via an email, for example, that will happen automatically. Then they will be imported. When you press the button import files or let the system do that for you automatically, the system will recognize that and put the template that you've created on top of it. It will try to find everything that you've set up. If everything is okay, then it can be forwarded to the approval person immediately. He or she will get an email. Of course, we can also cluster these emails, otherwise they will go crazy if they have a lot of 20 or 30 invoices a day for approval. They will approve it. It comes back to you as finance, and then you can post them manually or let them do automatically as well. And this should, drastically cut your time processing invoices. How do we find invoices back? Because that's important, because now we got a digital archive. The nice thing is you do not never have to leave your NAV environment or Business Central environment. Method number one is document search. Basically, every invoice that is scanned with document capture is fully text searchable. If you type in a word that you remember from an invoice, like an iPad, you can just show PDF file and it will show you the invoice. And you can search on every word that is on the invoice. It doesn't have to be in one of those orange and blue boxes. All the words are categorized. And as you can see here, I got my invoice now in front of me. And if you know a part of the word, I don't know, maybe just, you type in ELEC and then a star, then find every invoice with that word on it. I'll do one more example. Let's see, mounting. We ordered some mountings, and then you see, that's Cool Technologies, and then you get the invoice. So if an accountant asks you for some invoices, now they'll get a very quick reply. Of course, there are multiple ways. Because we're fully integrated into your Dynamics NAV, you can find the invoice in a lot of places: on the vendor, the posted documents, general ledger accounts, VAT entries, almost everywhere where you can press the button navigate. Let me quickly show you. If I navigate to a general ledger account and then press balance, and then I press the button navigate on an invoice. Then you can now see document capture file down here. You click on it and the invoice opens. So finding that invoices is really, really easy, and that's how it's supposed to be. This is what I wanted to show you today about document capture. Some information. Document capture was created about 5 years ago in Denmark by Continia. And since then it became it actually became the biggest add-on for Dynamics NAV, with more than 6,000 customers using this worldwide. And this is mostly because we're the only ones that are fully integrated. So if you decide to upgrade your system to the new Business Central from Microsoft with 4PS, then Document Capture will just migrate with you. It is usually cheaper than the competitors. It is easy to learn, a short implementation time, and there are a lot of other reasons why this product is good, but I'll leave it with that. For you to know, like Adam said, 4PS is one of our oldest partners in the NAV channel selling this, not just the English or the UK branch, but also the Dutch branch that they have, and both sell Document Capture quite a lot with small construction companies to big construction companies or service companies. It doesn't matter. A lot of them use this product already, so you will not be a guinea pig. I will send over some information to Adam, some recorded webinars, this one, and also some other movies that I can find so that you can have a look later. If you have any questions for me, then please email them to Adam and I will get back to you as short as possible. And if you want a personalized demo for your company, then just email your account manager at 4PS and we'll arrange that. Adam, I'm going to switch the screen back over to you. And yes, and then I press this one. Ah, yes, you're
Brilliant, there we go.
Okay,
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Martin. That was brilliant. So yeah, guys, as Martin mentioned, if you do have any questions, please do let me know. These are my contact details on screen now. If you'd like to see any more or want any more information on some of the other things that Continia can offer, such as their expense management as well, do let me know. Keep an eye out for the recording of this webinar. As I say, we'll have it live on our new website very soon. Also, keep an eye out for emails that are coming out regarding our next webinars and also our open day at our new office. You may know that we've moved now, so we're having an open day next month. The agenda can be found online, so do share that around the business as well. Again, thank you for being with us. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again very soon. Cheers. Thank you.